The voice of business. Who would have thought that business has a voice? But it really does, especially when it comes down to your writing and your dialogue as you talk about the aspects of it. We really want to look at a couple things in the aspect of using words that provide vivid and specific words. A lot of times in creative writing, we use a passive voice. Okay, in business, we use an active voice. Keep that in mind as you go through. General, she has a new device. Well, let's get specific. Lisa loves her new iPad. Well, the she is now a person named Lisa. And what device? It's new and it's an iPad. Identifies exactly what happens. And if you look, by the time it's all done, it's almost exactly the same, much clearer as you go through. That skyscraper is tall. Okay. All skyscrapers are tall. That's why they call them skyscrapers. Geez, come on, get real. Oh, wait a minute. Let's use the active voice in business. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is 2,723 feet tall. That's tall. Whoa! It is. Much more vivid, much more specific. Someone left a message. Yeah, dude, somebody left a message. Michael Lee called this morning. I know exactly who it is and when they called, and said he'd call again at 4 p.m. I know who, when he called, and when he's calling again. Much more vivid, much more specific. And by the way, this is how we should be talking in business, providing clear, specific communication as we go through. Explore the possibility of leasing the site, but also hire a consultant. You know, it's kind of a nice idea. Explore the possibility of leasing the site. Explore the possibility of leasing it, but most importantly, hire a consultant. Okay, there's no question what is the most important thing to do. Go look at a site, but hire somebody in the process. Labor lawyers say that companies should review their internship programs because most often they're illegal if interns are not being paid for their work. Lawyers often get paid by the word. They think that a word weighs something. The more words they have, the more accurate they become. Actually, this one is a snore by the time you're all done. Most internship programs are illegal if interns are not paid. You know what? There's a lot less words, and I actually understood what it said, even though I wrote them both. Okay, so we looked on the active voice, it's a clear expression. Use the passive voice verbs to de-emphasize. Our team misses deadline. Oh, I feel so bad. Our team. Okay, the deadline was missed. Okay, that's much more exciting as you go through the process. Direct and more clear as you go through. Rosario received a customer service blog last year. She started it. Indirect. A customer service blog was started last year. Well, that doesn't say much. You have that. It's not exciting. It's not interesting. You know what? And it doesn't give credit to Rosario, who probably worked really hard to create the blog in the process. Direct, clear, active voice. Don't refer back to this lazy passive voice. That's why they call it passive voice in the process. The government expects the economy to improve. Okay, who? The government and what? The economy, what's going to happen? There's an expectation for improvement. The economy is expected to improve. Okay, it will too. Who knows what year it'll happen, but sometime. Okay, the manager completed performance reviews. You know who and what happened over there in the activity. Performance reviews were completed. There are two different ways of saying maybe the same thing as you go through, although sometimes that passive voice, you aren't really quite certain what happens by the time you're all done. We cannot give you credit. Now, sometimes you want to sit down and have that passive voice so nobody blames you. Okay, credit cannot be granted. Okay, in this case, credit really harsh. Maybe sometimes use the passive voice depending about the response and the circumstances. The hospital cannot admit patients without insurance. Patients without insurance cannot be admitted. You know, they both say the same thing, but in this case, you're better off emphasizing the passive voice. Okay, other than that, because the person's standing right in front of you in the process, okay, as you go through. Our CEO missed his estimate on this quarter's profits. Our CEO, well, the CEO is backed by about 17 people. They helped miss the whole aspect of it. But okay, estimates of profits were missed this quarter. It depends what goes in your report. If you're going to have the head report, it says, the CEO missed the report. The CEO, if you're the one standing up there on top of it, they all point at you. And you. If you want to sit down and be emphasizing, you know, all my salespeople, they messed it up. And then these accountants didn't pass it all up. So we all missed it. It sounds so much easier, especially if you're the one that the CEO standing in front of the big group of stockholders. the business language voice. The voice, it's the business voice, it's called active voice, and it's accurate and it's much more specific, and it talks about action as you go through. It really is a major component and should be reflected in all of your business communications. Get direct the vast majority of the time. Occasionally, we'll talk about this, passive voice is okay, but keep in mind, active voice is the language of business. Take care.